The main reason why we are here today is to declare loud and clear that we are ready to compete on the future of Europe with other political forces, and that we are sure of our capacity to give answers, perhaps not all answers, but some important answers, and to offer people and voices to carry the change in Europe and make it greener. We stand united and confirm the pledge that we saw of 10 years ago. We are a relevant, independent political family. We can say today, after the very good work over the last years on the quality of our proposals that was confirmed today on the vote of the manifesto, that we are even more convinced of the solid ground of the project we present today to the vote of all Europeans. The Green New Deal, the ecological transformation of the European Union economy and society as the way to get Europe to be confident in its future again, and the stubborn conviction that we need more and better Europe and not more borders, and that openness and freedom can live and flourish even in times of crisis and of fear. In the bloody streets of Ukraine, we understand today better than ever that Europe and democracy are not empty words. In the manifesto, we commit those who will be elected to the European Parliament also to give it back a role of changing Europe. I actually hope personally that in the next legislation, it will be possible also on impulse of the Green Group to use Article 48 to start a debate and to propose new democratic reform. I thought it was a very good thing that the current Parliament used it to avoid traveling to Strasbourg, but I believe that there can be other uses that can be done of Article 48 that allows the European Parliament to have the initiatives on the change of the treaty. We also have to be ready and conscious of our responsibility of building a strong democratic forefront which goes much beyond merely political coalitions and aim to find in the liveliest part of the civil society the alliances and the strength to really have an impact on the direction that Europe will go. And we just saw when looking at José how much energy and much positivity and much importance it is for us to be a part of that movement. This will be the challenge of the next months, because we are convinced of the solidity of our proposals, but we also have to be more convincing for the people outside. And, of course, we have to get more and more people to vote for us, because people in the streets everywhere are hungry for solutions and not for words, are wary of the old speeches, but a lot of them are also fearful of the radical change, even if it is a real change, and cannot be convinced easily that the core value of Europe, like freedom of circulation or solidarity, are not just nice words, but a real part of common solution to the current crisis. But is this a crisis? Or is it a mutation, a revolution that absolutely needs still to find the right direction? I think that also in understanding what is actually going on, the Greens have grown wiser and evolved over the last years. We are not rejecting the expressions of fear of citizens as all tedious populist noise. We believe that the European Union is losing its role of representing hope and protection against decline and poverty, and we want to gain this role back. 100 years after the beginning of the First World War, having in the eyes and in the minds the hundreds of thousands of victims in Syria and in the Middle East, and more recently the unacceptable images of crushing of peaceful demonstration and dissent in Ukraine, but remembering also the thousands of dead in the Mediterranean Sea and the other direct or indirect victims, not only but also of Europe's impotence, we still believe it is peace, freedom, welfare, protection against poverty and discrimination, and more recently and decisively, the need of a green revolution, which are the drivers of the European dream, of that European dream that we stubbornly still advocate. A European dream which is shattered also by the incompetence, the lack of vision, the lack of empathy and compassion in front of the consequences of a blind agenda of reforms that became the other word for austerity, and also the only face of the European Union for many people. A face that brought back images that we thought forgotten forever, like the burning of German flags or the irrespectful remarks to our entire European people. We want to change that face by changing the faces at the top and their policies. We have in front of us 3 full months to defeat those who think that Greens are on the declining side because our proposals are too difficult or only valid for rich northerners or can't beat the ongoing attraction of magic words like down with the state, market, competition, liberalization. Our project is proudly for all Europeans, old and new Europeans, by the way, not only for those in tragic decay and poverty unknown to this generation till now, not only for those who feel threatened in their personal comfort by the distress of others. We believe that dealing about climate change and the ongoing threats to biodiversity is to talk about finding ways out of the crisis to create new jobs and support welfare. We also want to defeat another self-fulfilling prophecy, the alleged victory of anti-European forces. This is repeated over and over again, as if it would be already a fact of life. It is not, because the campaign is still to be fought, and because their analyses are easy but false. They bring no solutions. They are helped by the media to repeat their slogan without any real debate because they are hardly confronted in the public sphere. We Greens decided to challenge this self-fulfilling prophecy by starting very early our common campaign and by trying an experiment of e-democracy based on clearly pro-European but really alternative proposals to the austerity. I salute here those who took with enthusiasm and faith the idea, totally new and certainly risky, for launching the European Green Primary. I am personally proud of having been able to be a contendant. And on behalf of all of you, I want to congratulate and wish good luck to Ska and José. We did show that it is possible to make a European-wide campaign. Nobody did it before. And I'm sure that in the future we will learn from some mistakes and some shortcomings, not least the temptation of going back to some power game, which were probably not at all necessary in this context. But we can say that we did it, and that we opened new ground, and this research for new and varied ideas should always be a feature of the Greens. There is an alternative for Europe, and we think we are a part of it. The Green New Deal, no more Troika, more democratic and European decision-making process at EU level, the building of a democratic front over the next few months to face the dangers of the extreme right propaganda. These are our proposals. This is our challenge. It's up to us to win it. Thank you.